Everybody doing? Well, welcome to Teen Time. Tonight is Monday, March the 20th, and we are excited to spend some time in community with each other. And our inspiration tonight is going to be raw and it's going to be real. So I know a lot of us saw that Dee and Gina and Lisa went to a great leadership event this last weekend. And and maybe somebody that I might be forgetting, and I'll just say I didn't get invited. And so part of me was like, oh, I was bummed, right? Had this FOMO. So I decided I was going to attend the Tony Robbins seminar, which was approximately, I think it was 56 hours of training over 4 days, which was amazing. It was right where I was supposed to be. But I learned so much from those couple of days and wanted to just keep it real with you that, last week, I just wasn't feeling it. I didn't have great energy. I was starting to kind of feel like, man, like, do people want to get healthy? Like, what's going on here? What's happening? Things feel weird. And then I started going out into the world, into different groups that I'm a part of with different entrepreneurs asking, hey, are y'all having an issue? Like, is this like a global thing? Like, is this the recession? Like, what's going on? And then I went to this Tony Robbins seminar and I realized, y'all, the issue was with me. The issue isn't with health. The issue isn't the recession. The issue was my own mind. I was finding the things that I was looking for. And so just wanted to just be real with you. Because it made a really big difference. And one of the things that I realized, there was a 4-day event and one whole day was spent on health. That was what a big deal health was. And so he spent a lot of time talking about if you don't have health, you don't have anything, right? Your health is one of the most important things in your life. And this old Indian proverb that said a healthy person has 1,000 wishes, but a sick person just has one. And it made me realize this is a recession-proof business, right? People are going to need to get healthy whether, the recession is happening or not. If we can take care of ourselves and show up with the right energy, with the passion, with the heart. I mean, there was no wonder people weren't being attracted to my energy. I was over there like, I don't think anybody wants to get healthy. Like, of course, that's not going to attract the kind of clients that I want or the kind of coaches that I want. So just wanted to keep it real that I had to make a decision. And I had to start changing the way that I was showing up and learned a lot over the last 4 days. But one of the things that I learned was huge. It's that disappointment either drives you or disappointment destroys you. And I also got to keep it real with you. I don't know about you, all these people getting celebrated for 3 clients and 5 clients and 87 million clients, right? And it's easy for me to feel disappointed and for me to be like, well, guess it's not my month or whatever, right? Because we're all human. And so I just want you to know if those thoughts have ever happened in your head, well, first of all, I hope I'm not alone. I don't think I am, but I want you to know you're not alone if that happens. But we also get an opportunity to ask a question, right? Are we going to let that disappointment destroy us or are we going to let it drive us? Because I feel like if you're here, you want that disappointment to drive you. So we need to discipline our disappointment. So just wanted to share that with you. I hope you were probably the one person that needed to hear it. And y'all, after I shifted my energy, was incredible. Today, my 5th client came in, just boom, so our energy matters. It makes such a big difference. So what you focus on is what you feel. And your emotions and the way that you feel is almost just as important as our health, right? So I just think that is important. So if any of you, maybe you didn't make it to Dallas, I would encourage you, if you don't go to Dallas, maybe find some other kind of personal development you can do. There's like hours and hours of free stuff available on YouTube that can help shift your perspective and shift the way you see things. So just wanted to throw that out there. And Dee, I think you have a couple of announcements for us tonight.
Yeah, I sure do. That was awesome, Meg. Thank you. And I am going to share some at the end. I was at the TLDP Transformational Leadership Development Program, the reunion. And oh my gosh, like I learned so much and was reminded of so much. And I'm going to bring you a snippet at the end. So you're going to want to stay on for that because it really layers. It was beautiful that Meg was learning and I was learning. But they complement each other perfectly. And most importantly, something we can bring back to you. And this week on Time for You, we are going to dive deep. It's our interactive conversation on navigating, managing your own energy. And we're going to share more about from what we learned. So that's Thursday, 12:30 Eastern time, the same Zoom link. And we will record it. But a couple quick things, because so much happens in Coaches Out for Change. And we're realizing with that not everybody's seen all the posts. So a reminder that the coach calls that Dr. A and Nick Johnson are doing for us with leaders from the team. The next one is Wednesday night, 8 p.m. And it's going to be on sponsoring coaches. So, that is an area I know a lot of us would like more training in, would like to grow our businesses. So that is key. The link and all of that is in the top 3. It's in the email I sent, and it's in a separate post in the group. And then just don't forget, we have our client call. We're doing the client community call at 8 p.m. I actually shared in the group today, if you missed it, what I messaged my clients about. I don't just give it to them. I actually give them a little tidbit why they would want to be a part of it. I also ask them to text me a takeaway, and most do. So just that might be a tip for you. You still have time to text a few people. If you got invited to Dallas, I hope you are considering coming. We would love to have a conversation with you if it's something you're on the fence about or uncomfortable with, maybe for whatever reason. Love to have you help you find a way to make it happen, because what I'm learning and what I'll share towards the end is about conscious leadership. And that's what the focus of that event is going to be, the power of that and how it drives us in our success. And then one last thing. We are loving the recognition we're able to give for so many of you guys. Like Meg said, congrats to those that are earning the 3%, the 5% bonuses. We've had a rank up to senior coach this month. We recognize people that are already going to Dallas. We want you in there if you want to be there. The next thing we're going to recognize is coaches that place their order in the first 5 days of the month under their coach. I did a post today about it, why it matters. And we're going to do a recognition for that starting in April. So that is it. Let's get on with our topic, Meg.
And one of the things that we wanted to say too, as we are transitioning to doing our calls a little bit differently, we wanted to give you a little bit of feedback on ways that you can get the best out of the people that are speaking. And that is to stay engaged and to use the chat box to show us we can see you. So we feel your energy. And if you're talking on this call, you know what that feels like, right? We're all a little bit like a golden retriever, right? The more positivity and encouragement you give us, the better it's going to get, right? It's going to just keep on getting better and better. So you're going to be hearing from some of our top leaders tonight. And just because they're a top leader does not mean they do not need to hear your golden retriever feedback, right? So keep that coming. We want this to be interactive. And one of the things I'm going to try to do a better job of is being where my feet are planted and being all in, not using this time to multitask, not being here, but also helping the kids. I am here. I want to give you my all, and just hope that that's the kind of energy we all can have. So just wanted to share that. Okay, so we are going to have a panel tonight from some of the people that have already helped 5 new clients this month. So we had some questions that we put together for them to get the goods from them, to find out what in the world has been working. So they're going to come on and share, and I'm going to read the questions we sent to them, and they're deciding how they want to answer, which questions they're going to answer. But I'll give you a little snippet of what we asked them. We said, what has been working? What actions have you taken to find or reactivate your new clients this month? Where did they come from? What do you attribute it to? How has it helped your mindset to coach a new client? And what would you say to someone tonight who might feel a little bit discouraged? Lauren, let's start with you. Will you share with us?
Absolutely. Hey, everybody. So I have added, I think, 5 new clients this month and had a reactivated client. And there's been a few different things that have happened. So, and honestly, I just want to tell you, if you're feeling discouraged, because I know sometimes it's hard. I've been there when everyone else feels like they're getting celebrated and I'm the one who's not. So just want to tell you It is normal to feel whatever you're feeling. But a couple of things that have been really great shifters for me this month. Number one has been just a lot of my clients are coming from referrals. So a couple questions that I've been asking during my client calls is, hey, who do you want to be on this journey with you? Like, who do you want to get healthy with you? And not necessarily just like who's noticing, because sometimes like, what if no one's noticing, but they probably have people in their world that they would love to do this with. So that's been something that's been super helpful. Also, I don't know, those of you who have been coaching for longer, you probably have a coach who maybe decided not to coach anymore, because that can happen. And so what I've been doing too is calling and specifically reaching out to each of the people that comes to, because you typically get an email that comes to you with, hey, this person's no longer coaching. Here's a list of their clients. And what happened with that was, yes, I did get some reactivated, but also one of the people was like, hey, I'm at my goal. I'm still feeling great. I don't need any more feelings, but I have someone who's been interested. Could you connect with them? And so that was one of my new clients this month. I also had a neighbor who happened to buy some flowers from me. Anytime I have any kind of networking or any kind of interaction with someone new, I add them as a friend on Facebook. And so she actually messaged me and she was like, hey, what's this about optimal health? And I was like, well, let's talk about it. And so we got on a phone call. She signed up right away. I'm so really excited about that. And then, yeah, I think the important thing with our inactive clients is just staying connected and show them that you really care about them, about their life, their health. So, one of my clients just happened to reach back out to me and say, hey, it's my time. I'm ready. I want to feel good this summer. I was like, let's go, let's do it. So when you're keeping those relationships going, they will reach out. They will reach out when they're ready. And what else? One really cool story, and then I'll pass it along, is just the power of social media. So I post on Instagram. I've gotten a lot of clients actually from Instagram, and I use a lot of hashtags. Feel free to look at my Instagram. It's lauren.gets.fit, and I'll put it in the chat later. But I use a lot of hashtags, and one person actually found me. She just put in hashtag Optavia because she had some friends who had done the program and been successful. And she found me and messaged me and was like, hey, I'm really interested in Optavia. Can we connect? I was like, absolutely. So we set up a time. And so happens that we went to the same high school. Y'all, I graduated with 47 people from this podunk town in Tennessee. We happened to have graduated from the same high school. We know a lot of the same people. She had no idea that I found out because her area code was the same as mine. And I was like, hey, where are you from? Because it's not a very common area code. Anyway, she just finished her first week. I did a call with her tonight, and she's down 4 pounds and just feeling amazing and feeling empowered. And it just is a reminder of what's possible and what's possible in a short time. And just to keep sharing, because you just never know. And your story matters, and your story will impact people that no one else's will. So just keep showing up. That's all I got.
Lauren, that was so good. I loved the reminder about referrals. There will be more on that in a little bit too. And the idea to check with previous clients. One thing that I've been doing is going through my old text messages and sending a message to my client of their own words when they were feeling incredible on fat burn. And that has been really effective too. They're like, oh yeah, I remember how great I felt. So I screenshot it and just say, hey, I'm thinking about you. Came across this and wanted to share it. And had a client jump on last night. So that's another idea as well. Gina, we'd love to hear from you.
Thanks, Meg. So new clients this month are like Lauren. They've all come from referrals, either from a current client, because I too ask almost every time we talk, who do you want to bring with you? Who can you connect me with? Who's on your heart? But I also got a couple of referrals from people that have never been on program, but they know what I do because I share what I do. I talk about what I do. And so they sent me someone who wanted to talk. So it was great. When I am thinking about old clients, I like to pick up the phone. like to pick up the phone, they hear my voice. Depending on the client, I actually might send a video message because they see the smile on your face, they see the sparkle in your eye, they hear the love in your voice, that you're just checking on them, because that's truly what it is you just want to connect with them and hear how they are. And they might be doing great. They might need a little extra love. And so any way that you can reach out to them is great. Why does this all work? Consistency. You know, some of the people that I've got some upcoming health assessments with are people that I've talked to in the past, but they're ready now. They're ready because we show up, you know, we share our story, we share our vulnerabilities when we talk. You know, it's not just putting up a meme. It's, why is that important to you? What about that speaks to you that makes a difference to you? When they see you in action, that you're out to dinner with your friends and they see how great you feel. Because we know Optavia is not just about the way we look, it's the way we feel inside. It's the way we show up, our energy. And when you're consistently showing that and showing how great this is, people tend to reach out and want to know more, because they love the idea that you feel so good, you're no longer hiding behind the camera. So if you're discouraged, make a decision to be in this for the long haul. You'll never know the people that come out of the woodwork that you talk to or have been on your heart or you've messaged, and you're having that connection, because it's all about connection, right? Making an authentic connection with someone. And you never know when the time is going to be right that they want to have a real conversation. So be in it for the long haul, because it's so worth it. We have such a gift in our hands.
Gina, that was so great. Thank you so much for
welcome.
sharing with us. All right, Frank, we'd love to hear from you. Where are your new clients coming from?
Well, I think we have, so far for the month, we have 7 new clients, and I think it's 4 reactivated. I'm just going to talk briefly. My answer was not about the how, what we're doing, the steps, or where we're doing the steps, or how you're branded. I could teach you all day long on how to post, what to post, how to brand yourself. But if you don't have intrinsic motivation, you're not going to do anything. Okay. And what you'll find out by listening to these leaders here, nobody is holding their hand and nobody's pushing them and say, make a post, show up on team time, do the work, do the do. They're doing it on their own. So really, if you're not getting clients, identify why not with your intrinsic motivation. You may have some intrinsic motivation to show up here, but do you have enough to put yourself out there and to be vulnerable, or to make changes, or to reach up to your mentorship and say, help, it's not working for me. What do I need to do? So really aim to stay. Identify your intrinsic motivation, because really the bottom line is, when you know why you're doing something, you'll figure out the how. The how you will figure out the how when you know why you're doing something. I'll turn it over to Shauna.
Well, so excited for our reactivated. And one of the things that I did was I just started kind of reaching out and touching base again with people that I was seeing on Facebook and seeing that their weight had gone up and they hadn't been on program for a while, and I hadn't heard from them for a while. And I didn't come back in and go, hey, you want to come back on the program? I just started making connections with them again, because when they fall out, you kind of lose them in your feed. And sure enough, I had a couple of them come back in and say, hey, I think I'm going to get started again. So I truly think just getting in there and making connections with them again, has really helped. And it is incredibly encouraging when you have clients come back. So I think it helps us as a coach to be a little bit more motivated, and to just be more excited for them. And then, I don't want to take too long, because I know there's other people speaking, but I want to encourage you, if you're feeling discouraged, like Meg said in the beginning, by seeing all these people, that are getting recognized for new coaches and new clients. just know that your people are out there. And all you have to do is just keep putting yourself out there and just keep putting yourself out there. You know, if we weren't coaches, we'd be posting on Facebook, right? Because we'd want our friends to see what we were doing. We'd be posting our recipes. We'd be posting the fun we had at the bowling alley. You're just doing the same thing with your business by posting your story and your transformation and how you're feeling about, you know, your life right now, you know, personal things, and just continue. Reach up to your mentorship, because they're going to be your biggest cheerleaders and encouragers. And if you're feeling frustrated, let them know and let them help you through that kind of gap. And one of the things that's really helped me in that area is to try to navigate what's in between. I'm here and I want to be here. This gap that's in the middle, where is that? You know, what do I need to do there? And sometimes just getting in touch with your mentorship and saying, okay, what do I need to do? Where do you see I need to make some changes? So I hope that helped.
Oh, that was great. Both of you guys shared such incredible takeaways. So man, thank you so much. Now we're going to move to Rebecca Gibson, who is the newest coach on this panel. And you're going to be able to tell by her energy, there's no question why clients are flocking to her. So Rebecca, share with us.
Can you hear me? Because I'm not in my regular space. I just want to make sure.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you.
Oh, we can't hear you all of a sudden.
Now?
Yes.
Okay, so a couple of my clients actually, I'm excited about this, but I have to be honest with you, my husband started talking at work with some of his other folks. So he's been so impressed with the program, what it's done for me, what it's done for my, you know, mental and physical health. And he says he's not doing it, but he does all the same things I do. He just doesn't always eat fuelings. And so I think he started to really believe in our future in what's possible, and the fact that I truly, I kind of erased everything that I thought that I was as a person and decided that I'm going to be successful with this. I went and I purchased Optavia cards that called me a certified Optavia coach before I even took my test. And then when I realized, hey, maybe it shouldn't say Optavia right off the gate, I went and made more cards that call, you know, with health coach. And then I sent I got a resume ready, and I started sending my resume to health spas and letting them know that if they don't have a nutritional option, that they can reach out to me and work with me, and maybe we can network and share people, share referrals. So I've done a couple of visits with folks that way. And I've had, I will say I've had 3 health assessments with folks that are well into their 60s that I'm just waiting to hear back with, you know, what their primary care physician is going to say. Are they going to get on board with this, or are they not? And I fully expect that when they finally hear back from them, in Maine, it's kind of a slow process, then I will sign those ladies up, you know, with me as well. So I just keep, I will say that one meeting that I saw, or that one webinar that I saw, where Dr. A explains the difference between the creator and the creation, and just really separating that emotion from all of that, that was a bit of a game changer for me, because I had some fear of failure. Especially when you get disappointed that you had a big long conversation with someone and you thought they were all in, and they just kind of pull the plug and say, I want to think about it. And you're really just hoping that person, you know, you spent an hour and you thought that they were going to be your next client, and they pull back. So I've learned to let that go and keep moving forward and keep reaching out to people, even though it doesn't feel that comfortable. So I would say that's what's working for me. That, and I made myself a talking points page, because for me, my skepticism was based on, I'm a big detail person. So when when I pitch to people, or I guess we would call it pitch, but when I talk with them about program, I tell them where it came from, who it came from. I talk about the fact that, you know, I mentioned Lawrence Cheskin's name and the fact that he is, you know, the founder and director of Johns Hopkins Weight Management Center in Baltimore. I just kind of lay it all on the line that, you know, this isn't a diet. It's not a gimmick. This is the real deal. And there's 6 components to it. And if you let me do my job well, we're going to get you your health back, and you don't want to go to the hospital, and neither do I. So let's do this. Wow. And a lot of people are pretty, you know, they're up for it. And I'm getting people coming back. I mean, they're getting really integrated. So that's important too, is being able to take the time to get them truly in their own intrinsic desire to get better.
That is beautiful. Beautiful. I hope you guys did you just catch some of that energy coming out from these leaders and from Rebecca, and the preparedness, right? She's prepared. She's exploring different options. She's pivoting where needed, like Optavia card. Oh, new card without Optavia, like whatever it takes, she's making it happen because she believes in what she's doing. So that layers perfectly what everybody shared, because a few people talked about referrals, right? And getting referrals from different sources. And we are a referral-based business. So 2 people are going to share tonight, and Julie Apple Walker is one. And Julie, you know, in our coaching a while back, we kind of discovered, like, she was like, whoa, I haven't really been doing what I used to do with asking for referrals. And she was seeing it in her business and has re-implemented some new practices. So Julie, can't wait to hear from you.
Hey, you guys, it's so encouraging to hear this. And I will echo, I have been in a quiet season and it's so weird for me. So we're all human. So my encouragement is, like everybody said, keep doing what your heart is telling you. And keep reaching out. But the one thing Dee and I were talking about is the referrals, and what I had kind of gotten, I guess, lazy about and started using social media, is I was just tagging my clients in that what to say post. Instead of what I used to do is I had a process at like the 10-pound mark, when clients would lose around 10 pounds, I would email every single one of them a kind of a standard referral email I had created, and I titled it Your Success. And I put in there like how to connect people with me and put us in a 3-way text, and that I would add a referral thank you at the 2nd month. And so I had this all set up and I was doing that regularly. And then I realized I was just using social media and had stopped sending that email. So I've kind of been reevaluating. And one thing I plan to do the email or start sending a text, because I don't know how much people read emails anymore. Just because everybody's flooded. So my encouragement is maybe create a system. I'm a big system person, and I realized I was not leaning into my system. So that's my encouragement, is create a system for referrals and how to share it. If it's a text, if it's an email, whatever works for you.
That is so good, Julie. And it's such an awareness, right? Like when she brought it to her consciousness that, wow, referrals are important. Referrals are important to my business. I need to she established a process to go with it. And it doesn't sound like it's a hassle, right? Like you realize the value of it. So that is beautiful. So want Corey Christofek to come on and share. Corey naturally generates referrals in her business. And I want her to share a little bit around that. We talked about, she's like, I don't really have a system, but we think there are some reasons why she's getting a lot of referrals. So take it away, Corey.
Thanks. Yeah, when Dee asked me to speak about referrals, I immediately was like, no, I can't. This hasn't been a good month for me work-wise. I wasn't in a good headspace, and I'm the wrong person to talk. And then I started thinking about what I tell my clients when they're down, how I support them. And I was listening to the Lizzo song about You're Special, words about being broken, but you're still perfect, and how I don't hide my heart, I wear it on me. So here I am. So I feel like a lot of my referrals are based because how I create my relationships, and I think what works for me is to build sustainable relationships through consistency, empathy, and patience. So consistency, one thing, I set up one call with my client, then I go into my calendar, I move it to a weekly call. I tried sending out Calendly, people didn't sign up. So this is what works for me. And some people, they'll change calls and they'll move them or cancel them. But because I have a solid relationship with the majority of my clients, they don't want to cancel on me. They'll move it or they'll find something that works. So you may be easily willing to cancel on someone that you don't know, but you're less likely to do that when that person is your friend. So you become their friend. Because a lot of these people are people I've never met before. You know, somebody just, you know, obviously they refer them and I haven't met them or or I barely knew them. So the people that I don't talk to, they don't feel bad if they cancel their premiere. So connection is key. And then I'm coming from a place of a lot of pain in my past, so I have a lot of empathy towards others, and I think that shines through. And I'm patient because I plant a lot of seeds along the way, but I don't push things. So I let people realize that they want it and they come to me instead of basically chasing them. So I think that's been a real key. Above all, all that above leads to people feeling good about themselves and feeling like they've gained a friend, a confidant, somebody that they can trust in me. So when others ask about what they're doing, then they refer them to me. And I tell my clients that I have a referral program and I offer incentives. But for me, I think it comes down to that relationship because I'm someone who they can relate to and they connect with me. So that's it.
I love that, Corey. And thanks for, you know, like just you coming out of kind of that pain place and coming out and saying, you know what, I'm kind of in a hard spot, but I'm willing to talk about this. Like you build trust, you build authenticity. And I think that is such a key thing is that you heard her confidence and like, I establish a call and it becomes a weekly call. Like she's not asking for permission. She's kind of doing it, but through this and by being empathetic and compassionate and patient with people, she's building trust. Right. And people want, I wish I had this quote out, but feeling heard and feeling, I heard a quote that said something to the effect of feeling, being heard and understood is almost indistinguishable from the feeling of love. And people are so desperate. Love is one of our human things that, so if we can provide that for somebody, that's no reason that they wouldn't refer to Corey because it makes sense. So we're going to have a little bit of action around this at the very, very end. And I just want to kind of tie this up with a bow. And I want you guys to come on Thursday if you can, because there's so much to absorb, but very much in alignment with what Frank was saying and what some others were saying is that the way it was positioned this weekend that I learned it is really coming up with aligning. What are your truest values? What is important to you? And generally Optavia is filling like for me, what it led to when I looked at the things that are important to me, learning and growing. You guys are here on a Monday night on a call. Obviously there's something driving that's, you know, bigger, right? That you could have been doing other things. You chose to be here, but learning and growing and that sort of thing. It turned out for me that impact and significance is it is my highest value. And Optavia is my vehicle for that. So I will, you know, do things like, you know, go to events and learn and grow. And I spend my time and my money and my energy because it's important to me. And for you, impact might be important, but maybe your highest value is family. And Optavia is your vehicle because Optavia is the vehicle. It's not taking away from your family. It is actually providing the resources that you can do what you want with your family to create memories, to create experiences, to take the edge off the finances, you know, private school, college, weddings, whatever it looks like for you, Optavia is your vehicle. So when you align with this and your purpose and why are you doing this, then like you realize discouragement is going to be part of it. Right? If you look at anything in your life, if you went to college, if you're married, if you're raising children, like your highest values are usually your biggest challenge at that time, right? Because it's just part of it. You know, I knew there were papers I didn't want to write in college and tests I didn't do so well on sometimes, but I didn't give up on it because I knew this was important. So I think that is an important perspective is really getting in touch here, right? Like I came back refueled because I came back with why am I doing this? And Dr. A just talked about it. He's like, so what? There's a weight loss drug out there. It'll be gone. You can't inject yourself the rest of your life. If you don't work on your mindset, et cetera, it'll be gone. Recessions, economies, cycles happen several times through the course of Optavia, right? The complacency in the world, you can't ignore your health. So like Meg said at the beginning, we are perfectly positioned. And a phrase I heard this weekend, and this would maybe potentially apply to your own personal health, was, taking care of ourselves to be fit for purpose. to be fit for purpose so that you can be your best to serve and use this vehicle and how it's best going to align for you. So your 2 action steps, because I wanted to all get over to that community call. Your 2 action steps are very much in alignment with what we talked about tonight. Making every connection with a client this week, bring up the subject of referrals. Bring up the referrals, touch every client with the topic of referrals. You can choose how to do that on the phone, if you've never sent a message or a text about it, whatever, but bring up the subject of referrals. And then you're hearing over and over again, and we're going to talk about this next week. Next week is what sets you apart in terms of being a good coach. That's going to be our topic next week. But a good coach contacts their clients. So take a look at everybody who's ordered, right? And make sure that you have connected with them. Your clients that are on plan every week, right? You reaching out to them. If they're on maintenance, my theory has always been make a connection, send a text, say, hey, I saw you placed your order, and just want you to know I'm here and available for you. I hope you were doing well. But just those connections, right? We're getting back to the heart of what we do and good client support. So thank you guys for being on here. Let's all go hop over to the community call. And we can't wait to see you guys on team time or time for you later this week. And again, on next week's call. Thanks to everyone who shared. Bye, you guys.